Hey, welcome to Screenplay Junkie. My name's Drew Hellmich, and I'm a screenwriter. Film is a pretty sweet medium of art. However, before anything can make it to the big screen, it must start as a blueprint, text on paper. So if you're a fellow addict of film and storytelling, come join us as we take a look at various types of screenplays, short stories, and other source material that were crucial to the creation of the stories that we all love. I must warn you, though, there will be spoilers, so I do recommend being familiar with the title that's being discussed. Sound good? Cool. Then let's get started. Hello and welcome back, fellow story addicts, to Screenplay Junkie. This is episode number 23. Drew, Matt, and Bryan here. And I got a question for you guys.
Yes?
After watching this film, Smart House, all of a sudden have you now acquired an extreme phobia of homes?
I definitely don't have a phobia of homes, but I can say I don't feel smarter from watching Smart House. I feel a lot dumber.
No way, a lot. But I guess I have a phobia of the smart AI house rather than a construction house.
Yeah.
Like an actual house itself. Which leads me to my question. So after watching this movie Smart House, do you guys think that, as we know, like the AI gets out of hand, you think they're kind of theorizing how in the near future AI can have a little takeover on us?
I mean, where are we at right now? Like right now with artificial intelligence, we have like maybe like self-driving cars, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy. Like the AI doesn't know like what it is. I feel in this movie the thing like knew what it was, right? And that's what's scary. And that's why we were saying earlier, like this could be a horror movie.
Yeah, at times
if it wasn't
like
rated G.
Yeah. I mean, AI for me, I'm just going to take a neutral stance because, I mean, sure, you got like a ton of movies out there that have had stories about putting AI as the bad guy, but I mean, I can also see it as helping us as well. So I'm just going to stay neutral. Whatever happens, only time will tell in technology.
Matt, you're saying AI with like its own
consciousness.
Kind of feelings, but if you guys
that's the
heard,
problem.
Have you guys heard that Sophia out of Saudi Arabia?
No.
She's
I think I've heard about
now
that.
been claimed a citizen.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
And what is it just it's like the robot that looks like a human?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And
It's a citizen?
Feelings and talks, and I've been seeing the interview. It's like I just want to be accepted as a human.
Dude, I think we got to go kill this thing. I think we got to go murder it like this instant to save humanity. We're gonna be heroes.
It's got thought conscious. It's crazy.
That's wild. Wow. Wow.
From those goofy conversations that we just had, Smart House is the movie that we're going to be talking about today. We just watched it. And you may remember this if you grew up in the 90s or, you know, whatever, just a little kid watching Disney. Come on, admit it. Everyone watched Disney. Don't act like it's not
Disney
cool to watch
Channel.
Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Disney
when you were a
Channel
child.
original movie. These were original movies.
This is when they were doing like the highlighter stuff when they would draw like midair?
Oh, yeah.
Was this before then?
We've had our fair share of Disney movies. I've seen a bunch of them.
So this movie came out in 1999, and I mean, there's a lot of good kids movies out there. You know, it doesn't matter how old you are. You come back, you watch a kids movie, and a lot of them are really good. But guess what? This one is not one of them at all. I just want to ask you guys first. Do you remember watching this as a kid at all?
Yeah.
And how do you think you felt about it? Do you remember?
Well, I'm the one who brought up doing this movie like for this episode, and I remember liking the movie. I remember thinking it was great.
Yeah.
This movie sucks.
I mean, I liked this movie when I was a kid, so I feel you on that. Exactly.
I mean, the premise is cool. Like because artificial intelligence is cool.
Yeah,
but
she makes it fun. They make the house fun. You know, the life fun. But when you look at the each like character and how they're like talking with each other, like now it's like we're older. It's just like, what in the hell is going on?
It's a movie for kids. Okay, that's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's for kids, and it doesn't carry on to really entertain adults that much. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these features that the Smart House has. So Matt, you want to take that for us?
Yeah, cool. So what we're going to do here in this quick little segment is we're going to go through all the different features of Pat, the Smart House, right? And we're going to talk about if they're going to be possible in the near future, all right? So let's start with just this automatic food preparation, right? You could tell Pat in the smart house, you could just be like, boom, I need a milkshake, I need a burrito now.
I wondered that. Like, could you say some ridiculous thing? Be like, I want a burrito milkshake, or just to combine those two things and make some disgusting food for you.
Let me get some crab ragoon.
No chance, because I just love when they ask for their excess amounts of smoothies in this movie.
Yeah,
it just pops out, no blending.
These kids are just on a liquid diet.
It's just instant smoothie that Atkins had for you.
I mean, it's a cool feature. You don't have to cook if you don't want to. You don't have to do dishes if you don't want to, so you can just be lazy.
I think it's possible. I think it's totally possible, but not for everything. It has to be for really simply prepared meals like soup. Like it could just drop a chicken on a grill, something like that, flip it over a few times. Who knows? I think it's possible. I think computers or like AI is going to be able to make our meals very soon. All right, next up we got walls that are screens, like walls in your house that can just change, like to make it look like you're in the Amazon, make it look like you're floating in outer space, anything. Right. What do you think about that?
I believe this one, most definitely.
I believe it. I'm reading a book right now. It's called Physics of the Future. I'm not going to flatter myself by saying that either, because I don't really understand the physics and the science of it, but I'm just interested in inventions that are being made. But this specific thing that we mentioned with the walls being screens, so you're not going to be able to. Well, no, I shouldn't say not be able to. You're not going to choose to paint if you don't want to anymore. Wallpaper, anything. Ooh. You just go to the screen,
bing, bing,
and you put on whatever you want. Physics of the Future.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's written by a theoretical physicist. His name's like Michio Kaku, I believe is his name. I'm probably not saying it correctly.
Come on, man. No free ads. What the hell?
But it's interesting, man. And this is an example, like I said, that is in there. So this is something that has already been made. Prototype has already been made.
That's so cool.
Waiting for it to be put out into the public.
That's sweet. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that going to be like cost? Is like can every person have that, or is that just going to be only for the really rich people? Because that sounds expensive.
It does sound really expensive.
Even paint is expensive, which I found out recently.
It sounds super expensive, but this guy claimed that once it becomes common, that it'll be cheap and pretty much it'll be a norm. Everybody will have it.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next thing here. So in Smart House, the AI could break down your diet in seconds by smelling your breath. Is that going to be possible?
No chance. Immediately. No,
I mean,
by just the smell of your breath, I just don't see there's any technology being able to decode and think what you like and don't like and what you've been eating.
The breath thing is really crazy. I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to quote this guy again. He says that there's going to be like microchips that are going to be just in everything that we own. Ooh. So they'll be in like our clothes. And it'll be something like you'll have a doctor program in your house. So you'll go into the computer and I can't remember exactly how it was. If it just takes like a small sample of your DNA, it'll tell you if you feel sick, like what's wrong with you and how to
heal yourself.
Yeah, how to heal yourself or how to like give yourself antibiotic. Medication stuff. Yeah. So something similar like that, but yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. This book's crazy, man.
What if you're not sick and it's just like you must take Vicodin, just like telling you to take a bunch of drugs, just ruins your life.
You are just extremely hungover. That's the amount of things I'd probably get from it.
All right, so I mean, I don't think a computer or anything like that is ever going to be able to smell our breath and like tell us what we eat or what our diet is. But I mean, what you just said makes it maybe possible. I mean, I think that's more of like a human thing. Like, remember in Dumb and Dumber, Lloyd could just smell the breath, or like a fart, was it? And he's like, he's like, you had a T-bone steak, mashed potatoes, and asparagus.
Yeah.
He just like, you just name it out. So I think that's just like a human talent. Very rare human talent. All right, so the next thing is that the house can predict what you want to wear the next day, and it's just going to lay it out for you.
No.
What do you think about that?
No way, dude.
I don't know. I mean, like
I don't know about predicting things. I think more of just like, hey, this is in your wardrobe.
What if you had
here's
like
a combo?
What if you had like this AI assistant for years though, and it really got to know you?
It had to be like an assistant, not like a house as a whole.
Right. So like a Siri, it's like Siri, but it's just like personally to you. Think about that. That's possible.
Maybe, yeah.
That's pretty possible.
Yeah, that'd be possible. Okay.
All right, so the next one is that the AI can call all your friends and throw a party for you without you knowing.
Yeah, totally.
Because that's what happens in the movie.
Accesses email. All these kids are using functional emails, and they all got it. And yeah, I believe it.
I think that's something that will exist. But you'll have to you'll have to tell it.
You'll have to initiate it. Yeah, like you can just be like, send an invite.
Yeah.
All right, so this one's ridiculous. So in Smart House, the floors of the house could just suck up all the trash and just send it. Like, we don't even know where it went. They asked the girl who created the house. They're like, "Where's all the trash go?" And she's just like, "It goes into the floor." It's like, what does that mean?
I know.
This part, no
So
way.
clearly this is impossible. We can move on.
Well, I mean, that was just funny as far as like how the movie portrayed it, because there was a wide shot of a ton of garbage on the ground,
Right.
And like we said, the house claims that it just sucks it into the ground. But I mean, this is 1999, so the special effects were not great, especially for a low budget kids movie.
And we don't even know how much this movie was made for, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't know.
But all this garbage on the floor just started to just instantaneously disappear. Like, it wasn't getting sucked on the floor; it just started to
Plates,
disappear.
silverware, like everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything.
Small animals, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything. All right, so the next thing we have here is that if there's like an intruder in your house, it can zap it with an electrical current, because in the movie it zapped the bully with like an electrical current.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Right.
So that would be a pretty solid like defense mechanism for a futuristic house.
Yeah, for sure. Keep those burglars out.
Yeah, just like Thunderbolt, don't rob me.
Yeah, just like a Home Alone house, essentially.
Yeah. And then the next thing we got is hologram projections.
Yeah.
Of like the AI could just project itself in whatever form it wants and like talk to you.
Yeah, that's totally.
That's like
like
Cortana.
making
That reminds me of
moves for that.
Cortana from Halo.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So that's possible.
I'd like a katana in my house.
A katana?
That's her name, right?
No, Cortana,
Yeah,
not
just
katana.
Cortana.
A katana is like a sword.
Yeah.
Ha, you didn't know that, you nerd. All right, so anyways, the last thing that we have that the AI can do is, or if it can do in the future, is can AI help with your jump shot? Because in the movie, it helps the kid with his jump shot at the end.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably,
you
yeah.
could upload some downloadable files from like an NBA player, and they could like study it.
Yeah, just like help you with your muscle movements, basically, or like your muscle memory.
Yeah.
So that's possible. That'd be pretty cool to have, actually.
That would be
Right,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
All right, and that's everything. That's all I got.
Cool. Well, do we want to hit on some other Disney movies that came out around this time frame?
Yeah, there's definitely a bunch that are worth mentioning, because this is just one Disney original movie. Like, we had a whole list of like movies we could have chosen for this. But
Yeah.
to name a few, like Xenon the trilogy. I didn't even know it was a trilogy. Did you guys know Xenon?
No.
I don't even know what Xenon is.
I just
don't know what Xenon
thought it
is?
was one movie. That movie had like the chick from That's So Raven.
Yeah. She was like an international. No. I mean, like an outer space like student traveling through space.
I don't really remember it. I just remember
Interesting.
they wore goofy like silver outfits. That's all I
It was
remember.
super Star Trek inspired, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then we got The Luck of the Irish, who is also starring Ryan. What the hell's this kid's name?
Ryan Merriman.
Ryan Merriman, who was in Smart House. He's the main character, Ben.
Right. We didn't even go over the cast of the movie because it's just like not necessary. Ryan Merriman is the only name worth knowing, because
he's the only guy. Yeah,
probably we're gonna make fun of him this whole time. That's probably why.
Yeah, but Luck of the Irish was just another one that like relates to Smart House as a kid.
I liked Luck of the Irish probably the
funny.
best. Luck of the Irish was my favorite Disney original movie. Just
yeah,
'cause
that was a good movie. I mean, you watch it now, maybe different, but
I don't want to go back and watch it because it's going to completely.
You just want to keep the memories. Of
I'll
how
have to
you...
retract that statement I just made. I'll be like, "Oh, that was my favorite Disney movie." Now I'm going to have to completely retract that if I go and watch it. Can't watch it. It's going to suck. Which one are we on? Okay, so the next one is The 13th Year, if you've seen that. That one was about mermaids, I guess. Also had Ryan Merriman in it.
I remember that movie.
This kid was just a Disney all-star. They were just putting him in
Disney
everything.
all-star. Totally.
What's funny, too, is because, like, I'll just say this now. Like, in 1999, when they filmed Smart House, Ryan Merriman, right? The kid that was in Smart House.
Yeah.
He was in another movie in 1999 called Just Looking. And it's a rated R comedy drama.
Whoa, so totally opposite of Disney.
Let me read the log line for this. Okay, so hold on. Like the poster for the movie says that it's a sex comedy for the whole family.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
How would that be for the whole family?
And the logline says, it's 1955 and curious 14-year-old Bronx kid Lenny has a mission for his summer to witness two adults in the midst of an act of love. When his mother sends him to Queens to stay with his pregnant aunt and uncle, Lenny thinks his plan is doomed until he meets his gorgeous adult neighbor Heidi and also meets up with some like-minded neighborhood kids. These kids are just scoundrels.
I can't.
This is
I'm
unbelievable.
Just, like, really curious. Like, I need to watch this movie just to see what the hell.
Yeah, hold on. And then soon, Lenny is learning more than he ever expected about life, love, and growing up. What the hell is this movie?
Oh my God.
This kid is a pervert.
He sounds like he's gonna grow up to be like the most weird guy known to the bad guy.
Unbelievable.
He's like the original Peeping Tom, this kid. I just wanted to say that. I couldn't believe that he filmed Smart House, a Disney movie, and then this rated R movie where he just wants to watch people have sex. So weird.
Smart House landed him that role, bro.
Well, I guess this is ironic. We were just talking about sex, and now the next Disney movie we're going to mention is called Double Teamed.
Oh, God.
Don't think like a sicko. This is a basketball movie, and it was pretty good. It was a basketball movie. Double Teamed.
I don't remember that movie.
Do you remember Motocrossed?
Yeah.
Motocrossed?
Yep, yeah, I remember this one. Like vaguely. I remember that one vaguely.
It was like a girl posing as a guy to
yeah.
race in a motocross thing.
Right.
Because girls weren't allowed to.
I remember that one.
Something like that. Right. And then we got Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah. Okay.
We could have done that. We could have done the episode on Johnny Tsunami.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
We'll come back.
Disney Channel movie episodes, like a little series. We never know.
Just a whole podcast. Next up is Phantom of the Megaplex. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah, but I don't remember. I remember the title, but not what it was about at all.
It's a good title. It's a good
one.
title. The Phantom of the Megaplex.
Watch out.
Then Brink. This one was good. Brink, the rollerblading one.
Yeah, I think I would say that one probably upholds its quality if you were to watch it again now.
I would be okay with watching that one.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
might get around to that one.
I don't remember.
That's the rollerblading movie.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. And then the last
I
one.
gotta think, this is 1999, man. I'm 2 years old.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like,
Yeah,
I
you're
probably remember.
just
watching
pooping your
like
pants
03.
while mom's changing your diaper. You were just useless. You were just taking up space.
And I had Smart House that you can change my diaper.
Yeah, Pat was doing it for you.
Yeah, with those big Doc Ock claws changing my diaper.
You're right.
That'd be nice.
Oh my God. Seriously, what was that all about? I mean, a lot of Disney movies were pumped out, and I mean, just this small list here. I mean, I feel like we liked all these movies pretty much growing up
For the most part.
And like a couple other ones that I can think of just really quickly here, like Don't Look Under the Bed. Remember that Boogeyman movie?
Yeah.
That was a good one. That movie scared the shit out of me.
That scared me.
Yeah, dude.
That was a nice shout out. I know I missed some. Like I researched that really quickly.
There was another one. I think it was called like The Other Me or something. It's about the dude who like clones himself with like 'cause he wants to buy like a Guppy set.
What, Phil of the Future?
No, not Phil of the Future. It was called like The Other Me, I think. But I always liked that one too growing up.
What about the one with like Shia LaBeouf and Beans where they go to the islands? Was that Disney movie?
Oh, you're thinking of the Even Stevens, the show,
Yeah,
and then
it was
they
a
made it
TV
into a
show.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, that was a good show though.
I like that one.
All right, so Smart House. It came out in 1999, TV movie, right, on Disney Channel, June 26th, 1999. I'll go ahead and read the logline. A teenager wins a fully automated dream house in a competition, but soon the computer controlling it begins to take over and everything gets out of control. Then teenage Ben must calm the computer named Pat.
Oh, exhilarating.
Sounds like a kid wrote the logline.
Yeah, right. I feel like it should have just ended after Control. They didn't need that extra little.
No.
Yeah, that second sentence, very unnecessary. Right. It was directed by LeVar Burton, written by William Hudson and Stu Krieger.
Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, we said Ryan Merriman was in it. And
Yeah.
everybody else, who cares? Oh yeah, well, Katie Sagal, she plays Pat. She voices Pat.
Yeah, that's right, yep.
The AI. She's in like
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. She voices the one-eyed girl in Futurama,
Yeah.
whose name is escaping me. Layla.
Married with Children. She was in that show.
Oh yeah, sitcom back in the day. I looked it up earlier. She's won like 4 Golden Globes from her TV acting. So
I mean, so she's a pretty important person that just stumbled upon this movie, apparently.
she was just on set, like telling everybody else to fuck off. She's like, "Get out of my way! Out of my way! Look at my Golden Globes."
All right, well, you guys want to talk about the movie then?
Yeah, cool. Because like I said earlier, we have no idea how much this movie was made for. We have no idea how much money Disney made. It's all just up in the air.
All right.
I mean, with all that smart technology, man, they probably pushed a couple mil.
At least a couple mil.
Now remember, this episode is just a movie review. We will not be talking about the screenplay at all. However, if anybody has the screenplay or knows where to find the screenplay,
I looked for it.
Just send it over. I want to read this because that would be just an indescribable ride to read it.
It'd be a fun read. I looked for it for all of about 2 minutes, and then I stopped. But then again, I also looked for I tried to find this movie, like, for us to watch, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just Google it, 'cause I'm not going to pay for it. I'm not going to pay to watch this movie. And I was going some pretty sketchy sites. I just want to say that. Some real sketchy sites. The previews for the movie were real questionable. I hope my computer doesn't have a virus.
So let's run through the major events of this movie.
That's what this segment's going to be all about.
Yeah.
Major.
Plot points. Plot points.
So we meet our main protagonists, and that is the Cooper family. And that includes the dad and the two kids, who are Ben and Angie.
Ben's like, what? They said he was like 13?
Yeah, 13 and she's like, I don't know, maybe like 9 or
she's
8.
annoying. Who cares how old she is? She's annoying.
And then we also meet Sarah, who is the creator of the smart house, and Pat, which Pat stands for Personal Applied Technology. And she's the AI of the house.
Yep, she's ready to serve your every need.
And Ben's want in the beginning of the film is to win the smart house contest. So he enters this thing like a bajillion times, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah,
he just
fills
stays
out his
up.
name and like current information like a bunch of times. Yeah, he wants it real bad.
There's a line in the movie where he claims, he's like, "Oh, at least a quarter of these entries have to be mine."
Yeah. So he's obsessed with trying to win this smart house, and then eventually we find out the reason why he wants to win, and it's because he thinks he needs to take care of his family because I guess their mother died when they were young.
Unknown reason.
Yeah. And so he believes that he needs to take care of the family. Again, he's 13 years old. And anything that he cannot do, the smart house will be able to do for them.
This is the part where when I was watching, because you initially find this out because he's like making dinner. He's like cleaning. He's doing everything. He's like, you got to study to his little sister. He's like, he's being a parent essentially. He's just like, dude.
You're right, yeah.
13, man.
I think it's the part of the story that has weight. I think it's the part that actually could translate to a horror movie, because you have this kid that all he wants is a mother, but not a real mom. He wants just a computer, right?
Yeah.
So he goes out of his way to get that, and then the whole thing backfires, right? But then instead of it being a Disney movie, like, people are dying, and oh yeah, it'd be crazy, right? Like, that's the movie I want to watch.
You might be on something right there.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like the most interesting part of this movie, is because he's trying to deal with this trauma of losing his mom, and he doesn't want anybody else to replace her. He doesn't want any other physical woman to replace her.
Yeah, and his dad is oblivious.
Yeah.
He's like, what's wrong with Ben? He's like talking to the younger daughter. She's like, you can't tell?
Yeah, I know. She knows what the hell's going on. So, of course, Ben, he eventually wins the contest, of course.
Why even have a contest? I got to bring that up.
He doesn't even know. Like, remember, he's at school, and he's just like, why is everyone saying congrats to me? I don't even know. Yeah, he figures out that he won because it's on the paper.
Also, like, why didn't the other kids just say, hey, congrats on winning the smart house? Like, they could have just finished their sentence, and then he would have figured that out.
Yeah, no, seriously.
We could have saved, like, 2 minutes of watching the movie.
No, there was a lot of suspense. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, he wins it. He wins the smart house, finds out at school, like we said. And during the scene, while he's at the school, we meet these bullies that are just giving him a hard time, and these bullies are hilarious. There's this like goofy guitar riff that plays like every time they enter a scene, like, here they come.
Yeah, like, lets you know, like, ooh, here come the bullies.
Watch out, here come the spiked bullies with ridiculous necklaces.
Get ready to get stuffed into a locker, you nerd.
You said spiked hair, like frosted tips, seashell necklace,
yeah,
like just baggy clothes. What his buddy had, like orange Cheeto hair.
Yeah, he did.
It looked really bad. He looked really bad.
I mean, just think about how much like hair gel that kid put in his hand every morning, and then just mixed up into his head. just a wad of gel every morning.
So then we have no idea how much time transpires between when they win the contest, because there's like some sort of ceremony celebrating that they have won the contest. Then they move in, and All of their stuff is already in the house. We have no idea what they did with their other house. It's just an unknown time frame from when they win it to all of a sudden they're living in it now.
They did not care about their other house one bit.
No.
Not at all. Like, usually when you move, especially when you're a kid, you're attached to your old house. Like, you're going to miss the neighborhood. You're going to miss your friends maybe that you used to live next to. Not a chance for these kids.
And life is great for them. They're living in the house. Everything gets done for them. Mm-hmm. Their food is made for them. Their clothes are getting put out for them. Whatever, you name it,
yeah,
it's getting done
Pat
for
took
them.
a little of their DNA. She knows she can predict every little waking moment of their life and everything they want. It's great.
Then, oh shit, the two kids order a smoothie simultaneously.
Can I have a milkshake smoothie, please?
And the whole the technology just combusts and starts erupting oranges. And it's like they're all terrified. They're ducking behind like cabinets. Like there's some sort of like crazy battlefield going on.
It's the attack of the oranges.
I mean, this was like the way they portrayed it. It was like life threatening when it was just hilarious to watch. It was great.
It was funny. They were freaking out just at a bunch of oranges.
And then the next major plot point that we have is so the dad begins to fancy Sarah, who's the creator of Pat in the house. So
can't blame him.
Yeah, so Ben retaliates because he gets pissed that some woman is going to be around and he doesn't like that. So he breaks into the control room of the house and reprograms Pat to be...
He magically knows how to do all of this.
Yeah, and he reprograms Pat to be a maternal figure for their family.
I want to know where he got those power tools. And like he was making so much noise
so loud
as he was rewiring this AI or whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
No one woke up. Terrible supervision. What is going on in this house?
I mean, because again, he's 13 years old. He breaks into this control room that looks like a freaking spaceship. Like, yeah, like just things that you would look at them and be like, how the hell would I operate this? I have no idea what I'm doing. But he figures it out and reprograms.
There were like thousands of buttons and lights flashing. It was they just made it look like it was so stupid. It didn't look official at all. All right, then this next part we want to talk about is when his sister kind of calls out the main character about how he won't accept this new girl in their life, right? Because the dad is obviously very interested in the creator of the smart house, right?
Yeah.
So he just gets super mad at her and tells her he's like, stop being ignorant. And he just like points at her and like makes her cry. And then he just leaves. And it was like one of the most incredible moments in the movie because I was like, why is this in a Disney movie? He was moody.
Very moody, yeah. Ben's just being a complete boner for this part. He's just not accepting her. Like, dude, come on.
He's an emotional wreck.
And the dad wants his kids to have fun. So Pat overhears this because she's just listening to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And so Pat breaches Ben's email contact list and blankets a message inviting everyone he knows to a house party while the dad is on a date with Sarah.
Right, because every 13-year-old kid in 1999 has an email.
Exactly,
and
right?
checks it very frequently.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I don't know. Did everyone have a computer even back then? I don't know.
Maybe like one computer to house. Like, I mean, this kid, the dad had a computer. This kid had his own laptop. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous.
Right, so maybe the gateways. Gateways were popping in 1990.
Yeah, gateways and Dells.
Yeah.
So this party goes and Ben's friends, like Ben's best friends, are the two people that first show up. And what is this quote that Ben says to Pat? Do any of you guys have it?
This is the best part of the movie.
Yeah, this is the best part of the movie easily, but it's something along like, "Hey Pat, put on some like kick butt music or something." Like instead of kick ass.
Hey Pat, how about activating some kick butt video screens? Sure, Dan.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah. So Pat puts up these video screens.
They were just clearly referencing MTV without saying MTV.
Yeah. And first it like looked like a wormhole, and then all of a sudden it transitioned over to like some live. Yeah, it was like an NSYNC, Backstreet Boys type deal.
No, it was NSYNC. I looked it up. That was an NSYNC performance.
Okay, so yes. It was an NSYNC performance, and so this is like part of the technology of when it's in the wall. So it's a screen wall. The live performance is up. Then all three of them just bust into a choreographed boy dance. And it was, let me just tell you, it was amazing. Like, it was hilarious, but it was so bad. It was so bad.
It's so bad.
They were all in perfect, like, sync. They were in sync within sync. They were dancing, like, they were hitting all the moves. It was incredible. And then afterwards, they just, like, celebrated like they just won a war.
Oh my god, the celly after was ridiculous. It was like, dude, that was so dope. We're sick, yeah. And then it was just like, oh, dude, what
We're
are you
gonna
guys
mac
doing,
on some
man?
chicks tonight.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, and then Ben like finds out. I forgot his crush. Like she's showing. He's like, "Does my hair look okay? Is everything all right? Does it look good?"
Yeah. That was great. I mean, if we can find a way to get this dance scene on the Instagram page, we have to.
Yeah, we might have to look into doing that for sure.
We could just take our phone and just film like our computer screen, even though it'll be lower quality, but it's the people need to see it. The people need to relive that moment.
While we're here talking about, we'll include a quick soundbite of what the music sounds like. Because remember, that "House is Jumping" song?
Jump, jump.
Yeah, that one. So here's the song right here. Here's a little tease.
Jump, jump, the house is jumping. Yeah, come on.
Oh, what a great song. Ugh. I listen to it every morning when I wake
Dude,
up.
I literally got out of my chair and I was dancing.
You get it? You get it? The house is jumping because the movie's called Smart House. Don't you get it?
Was that written for the movie?
I was wondering that too.
It
I have
probably
no
was just a
idea.
song at the time. It had to be.
I have no idea. They played it like 2 times though.
They did.
So now this party is in full throttle. Like it's a freaking rager. You want to be at this party, guys? I'm telling you.
Was there boobs? It's my question.
Was there booze?
Absolutely
No. This
not.
was a total dry party.
It was a Friday night, though. It was a Friday night.
It was, and the bullies show up because they're looking for something to do, and the sister is outside being like a hostess. Like there's like a name like
bouncer.
guest list. Yeah,
She's a bouncer. Yeah.
so the bullies are not on the list, but whatever. They're coming in. Who cares? And that's when Pat completely gets pissed off at the bully because originally. In one of the previous scenes, Ben gets in a fight with the bully, gets a black eye. So now Pat knows about this, wants a revenge.
Yep.
So the bully comes in and pretty much like assaults him and threatens his life by what? Like throwing a skull hologram.
Yeah, tries to scare the shit out of him with a skull
What in
hologram.
the world was that?
I don't know,
The CGI was brutal. My goodness.
but I mean, it just wasn't scary. I mean, but whatever. It's a kids movie.
But for a kid, who knows? But then, and then it like shocks him with electricity.
Yeah.
And then the claw, like the Doc Ock claw,
Yeah,
comes
like
out.
like chased him out of the house. Yeah,
I
that's
wish
funny.
those
Kicks
were
him
around
out,
more.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then just like shoos him out of the house.
Yeah. Then everyone else just laughs and celebrates and continues back into the alcoholist rager.
Yeah. There's more dance sequences. They form like a tunnel.
choreographed.
Oh
They form
my
like
god.
the tunnel, and they're all dancing in the tunnel.
The freaking tunnel
How
sequence.
about, and then they're doing this weird dance move too. Like all the kids were doing only one dance move.
Yeah.
It's like a fist pump.
I mean, whoever choreographed this film was a freaking genius. That's all I have to say.
I don't know
There
if
was
they've
even
ever danced before in
confetti.
their life. They hired someone who completely like fudged their resume.
It looked really awkward.
That person doesn't have a clue how to dance. Who was telling those kids what to do?
And like Ben at this point, he's like loving the time. Little does he know they have 6 minutes until Dad gets home from the date.
Yeah.
And the date went well for Dad. The date went very well.
Right.
Oh, dude, real well.
Well, and also at this party, there's some popular girl that we mentioned a little bit earlier that now all of a sudden just likes Ben because he has his smart house. So I mean, she's like dancing with him and like then gives him like a kiss on the cheek. And at one point, she leaves her sweater in the house. And so when the dad's coming home, that's when Pat's like, "Don't worry about it. Just start throwing all the garbage on the floor. I'll suck it up." It's like, could you imagine this having this type of
That'd be so cool.
like component in your house that would do that? Like you'd be like the coolest kid in high school. Hey, come over to my house, trash it. I don't care.
We'll party.
Like in my house, will clean it up. Like it's
All
hilarious.
the trash, all of it will magically disappear.
So they managed to clean their house within seconds by just dumping it all on the floor because the floor sucks it up. And the dad comes home. The house looks immaculate. And that's when the dad notices a random sweater on a plant. And that's when they have been found for having a party. So the dad's pissed. And he starts like... Yeah, he just starts getting pissed off. And he's like, "Hey, you guys need to be better. Pat, you need to knuckle down with your shit."
Yeah, he wants Pat to be more strict.
Yeah.
She takes it way too seriously.
I mean, and then it's basically like, I don't know how much time passes, but there are just instances where we see Pat being really strict with the family and they just get sick of it.
Right, like the girl has a temperature of 99 and then Pat won't let her go to school and see the llama farm or something.
Yeah, the llama farm.
She just wanted to go to the llama farm.
Yeah.
I would want to go to a llama farm.
Right. And then I think Ben, the kid himself, the main character, he tells his dad, like, hey, like, you got to call that girl and fix Pat because
Right.
Pat's out of line.
Yeah, so Sarah comes over and she shuts Pat down. And
The old factory reset.
yeah, there's a scene where Pat gets shut down and then they're all having a meal that they made. They actually made a meal for once. They're not depending on Pat here.
Right. With their own two hands.
Yeah, and then the dad says, who needs Pat anyhow? And then all of a sudden, Pat, the shutdown Pat, hears this, overrides the system, and then begins to initiate the virtual projection process, as it's stated.
Initiating
She becomes the
process.
She becomes an actual like being / hologram now.
Yeah, and she looks like a old style like mother, like house mother figure.
Like from the 1950s, something like that.
Yeah. And we all agreed right here around this point of the story that this is when this turns into like a legit horror story. If you wanted to go full throttle with this thing,
It could get very messed up.
this could get messed up, yeah. Because Pat just runs around as a projection. She throws Sarah out with that claw thing, right? Because she doesn't want any other women in the house.
And because she's a hologram and can't physically touch people herself.
Yeah, she's trying to be the mother figure for the family. So she shuts the house down and she closes it with like metal sliding doors, whatever sheets, whatever you want to call it, bolts them.
This is what drives curiosity to me. It's like, why did Sarah install these metal?
Yeah, to make the house a fortress. The house became a fortress.
That's true.
She had to build this part, like, you know, she's the one that passed. She had to build all this like extra security. It's like, what?
Yeah, I don't.
Why did you add this?
That was ridiculous.
She's like the Inspector Gadget of houses. That's how I thought of her. She's like a really goofy ass inventor.
I mean, because we were saying earlier before we started recording, like that quality of the house would be perfect for like a zombie apocalypse or something, or withstanding like a hurricane,
right.
you know, anything like that. But I mean, basically, what Pat does is just cut the family out from the outside
From
world.
the outside, yeah.
Yeah. And there are like specific like dialogue scenes in here where it's stated like, oh, what about a mother figure? Oh, no problem. Pat's your mom now. And then the dad's like, well, what about school? They need to go to school. And Pat's like, don't worry, I'll teach them. And the dad's like, well, what about friends? Kids need friends. And Pat's like, well, a mother is a friend a child only needs. And it's just like, what is going on?
It's so
now?
creepy. The little girl's like crying and stuff. And I love how too, like the cops are never called. The cops are just never notified of this situation.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Just the girl, the creator, Sarah. She's gonna fix it all on her own.
Well, Pat wouldn't let them call.
No.
You can't call anyone. Yeah, she like can tap your cell phone somehow. I'm like, not let you call people.
I love how too the Sarah girl who created the house. She doesn't even come up with the solution to like get inside. Like the kid comes up with it. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna listen to the kid's plan.
Yeah, like she should know about everything about the house. Like,
She's a super
in her
genius.
mind. She should know everything about any sort of weakness that she could carry out. So like Matt said, Ben is the one who figures out how Sarah can get back into the house. And what he comes up with is the next day when the paper boy is delivering the paper, there's that claw thing that we've been talking about, shoots out of the house and there comes out of a hole of the house. And so during that window, while the claw is outside, Sarah like does this ridiculous dolphin dive into the right into this the hole in the house.
Some random compartment.
So now she's in. Who knows where that took her, but she's in the house now.
That's where the newspaper goes.
Yeah, right. So then Sarah like tries to break into the control room, and she gets caught. Of course. I mean, everybody's just put into the family room, and then Pat turns into like
a tornado.
She simulates a
Tornado
storm.
/ hurricane.
Yeah, and then another really creepy part that Pat does is just start singing. She starts singing a song that Ben's mom used to sing to him when he was a little boy.
Right, because earlier in the movie, the kid was watching like the old VHS tapes of when his mom was still alive.
Yeah.
Pretty sad.
And like telling her to like take notes essentially. Like, this is what I want you to be like, Pat.
Well, he didn't know Pat was watching.
Oh, okay.
And then, so now we have all this craziness going on. We've reached the height of our story. How is this going to get resolved? How's it going to get resolved?
Yeah, right. This AI is insane. It's singing the songs that this kid's mom used to sing. It just wants to be their mom.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the way that they put an end to this mutiny is all Ben does is just say, Pat, you're not real. You could never be a mother to us. Essentially, it's basically what he said. And Pat was just like, okay, and just like shut down. It's just like, what?
Abrupt. It was
What a
so-
climax! Wow.
It's like the creators were like, oh shit, guys, we're getting on that Disney film time slot. We gotta.
Yeah, fuck, we got to go to commercial soon.
I mean, that's probably one of the most rush endings I've ever seen in my life. Where, I mean, they were building up to something, and then they just didn't know what to do, it seemed like.
And then boom, it's just everything's back to normal, everything's good.
Because they needed to keep it G.
Yeah.
You can't, like, just destroy the control room or something. You got little kids watching this. Anyways, it was hilarious.
But happy ever after, you know, they got the new girl in the life. Ben's accepting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy family, you know.
And they stay in the smart house, and Pat's chill.
Yeah, and she's fully functional. She's helping tend to every single one of their needs.
Movies on deck.
Something I want to bring up is just like a theme of this movie, and it's like an indirect theme. I don't think Disney intended this.
Yeah.
But like something I got is that technology the movie is telling me that technology solves and can provide us anything we want, right? Except our emotional needs. So it's like technology, anything you want. Like why teach your kids anything? Like they can just rely on technology. They can Google anything. Like why teach them how to do their homework because the AI can do it. All that stuff. Technology can do all of it. It's like, that's terrible. Can't teach kids that. That's how the movie ends. That's what it says.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember anything as far as what I thought about this movie when I was a kid, so.
Well, that's what I thought now, not as a kid.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, like, when you're a kid, like,
Yeah,
there's
right.
no way you think of that. No freaking way.
I just thought, like, Smart House, cool, this would be sweet.
Yeah, well, it's a Disney movie. You just want to be entertained. You don't care.
Yeah, no.
But as like
Yeah.
a parent, as an adult watching this now,
With your kid?
oh my gosh, yeah, it's one you just let the kid watch and you go do something else.
Yeah, seriously.
Go mow the lawn.
Do you guys want to talk about some user reviews?
The IMDb user reviews, yeah, let's do it.
All right. Who wants to go ahead and read this first one?
Yeah, I got it. So we got a couple here. We gauged it from, like, people that hated it and then people that I guess genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah, sure.
But
Yeah, we
first
got to
one
go with the
here's a
hated
1
first.
out of
Got to
10.
start with the hated ones.
We'll start with the hated. 1 out of 10. So this one, he gave it a pretty awful review here. And his, like, subject of, like, his little review is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yes.
So he or she, I don't know. It's movies like these that make me wonder what insane people would be shameless enough to put their names on. This is a piece of trash. There are ridiculous dance scenes, as we touched, that made tears come into my eyes. Same with me. And I was laughing at the dork flailing around to a boy band.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. Accurate opinion, I would say. It's pretty funny.
And then closes out with, parents, this is one of the movies that you probably don't need to watch with your kids.
Right. All right, this next one was a 6 out of 10. Oh, what were you saying, Brian?
No, yeah, just highly not recommend. Not that guy.
Oh, yeah, that person hated it. But like I was saying, this next one is a 6 out of 10. Their subject for the review is, it's okay, ... but kind of cheesy. And their review is pretty short, and the only thing I want to touch on is that they claimed that the Sarah and Nick relationship, so this is the relationship between the dad and the creator of the Smart House, this person thinks that the relationship goes a little far for a Disney film.
I don't even know what that
I
even means.
don't even know. I want to know why that person thinks that, because
like,
it was
what did
pretty
they do?
normal. They just kissed. It's like, who cares?
He asked her on a date, and then was like nervous about it, and then like kissed her one time.
Yeah, I know. It's like there's this pretty G stuff here.
What a gentleman! My goodness.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, I don't think you can really approach that any better.
Well, it's a G movie, and they thought maybe that was pushing PG, you know?
I guess.
I have no idea. But
I'd love to ask that person more about their opinion.
I'd
love to ask him what they thought of the rated R movie that Ryan Merriman was in, where he was trying to watch adults just get it on for some reason.
No way that person's watching that movie. And then I think we should end here with this 10 out of 10 here rating. The subject is wonderful movie, worth seeing it. And the reasoning for their 10 out of 10 rating is that this is such a beautiful movie with a beautiful message. Oh, here we go again. And this is probably the point that hits it home for this person and why it's a 10 out of 10, because they state, the lovable hottie Ryan Merriman plays very well in this role as the responsible nerdy Ben. I watch it every time it shows on Disney, which is, thank God, 2 times a month normally. So this person this person knows the scheduling of this movie.
This review is only 6 years old.
And then here we go again, just in case Ryan Merriman looks at his own reviews of films that he's been in. P.S. May God continue to bless you, Ryan Merriman, with all the beautiful things that life has, and may you continue to have a successful career in television and films. So this person is a big Ryan Merriman fan.
Who is this
apparently.
person? She was calling a 13-year-old a lovable hottie.
Oh boy,
That is absurd.
Brian, you got any brain busters here? Or?
Yeah, so I was just thinking, majorly, like, let's say fast forward, they still living, we've got Lanny's around like 16 to 18 years old here,
Yeah.
and like Tim being in our house, and like, of course, like privacy is like not an issue. Like, what's going on here? Is she like watching like everything he do? Is he like bringing people over? Is he like getting hammered? Smoking, and like she's like shooting him down. He's got girls over. Like, what do you guys think? Are they gonna like keep her on throughout and try to keep the privacy to a closed circle?
Well, I don't know how it would happen for like very specific scenarios, but they said in the movie, because I think it was Ben asked Sarah, like, hey, what happens when I'm like taking a shower or something? What's Pat doing? And the girl was like, oh, no, like Pat's very discreet. Like she turns off like as far as that stuff when that stuff like comes about. So I don't know about
turn itself on when it's shut down.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that.
I don't know about getting hammered and like if you have a girl over and you're doing whatever you want with that girl, but yeah, Pat's probably looking. I don't know.
Yeah,
she's judging you hard.
You definitely want to turn the off switch on, I think, for her when those moments are going down. Just flick the off switch.
Classic. And brain busters, like this movie being made at first, then again, but it's a Disney movie. It's made for fun.
Yeah,
made for kids.
Made for kids.
Yeah,
made for children. And it's, if you had this house and the idea and all the things that came with it, could you see yourself like purchasing or winning it?
I mean, if I won this house, I would live in it. If I had to buy it, that would never happen because it would just be out of my price range, like for sure. But I would totally move into a house like this if I was just like given it for free. I'd probably sell it if I want it.
You do like
you could like
buy and resell action,
right? Like you could live in it for a little bit and then sell it after a while.
Yeah.
I mean, that concludes my busted brain. I couldn't really think of that many for this.
Yeah, right on.
I mean, it says here in the notes that you've taken dumps bigger than this pile of shit movie. So that's pretty good. Thank you for sharing that.
We want to get into final thoughts here.
Let's do it.
Who wants to start us off with some final thoughts?
I'll go ahead. I mean, I'll go first just because it was my idea to do this. We were sitting here last week just thinking, like, what's something different we can do, right? And I brought up that I thought to do, like, an old Disney movie just because it's something we've all seen, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I never brought it up. It really wasn't that good watching. I mean, it's fun to make fun of it.
Yeah.
The whole time, like, you're just laughing at the movie, just thinking of how dumb it is.
Yeah, totally.
If you want to risk getting a virus on your computer, you could probably find it on your own somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it's just a dumb old movie.
I totally second that. Like you said, it's a dumb movie. It's fun to make fun of. Like, the reason I watched the whole thing was for the episode. Whereas if I saw it on, I'd think, okay, I'm changing it. I'm not watching this.
Next channel.
It was just nice to like reminiscing like the old memories back when. Like, just be like, oh, I remember this movie, and just being like my roommate. Like, he came in like watching. He was just making fun of it. We were just sitting here making fun of it. So good laughs. Good times, yeah. I hated it.
and I hated every second of
end it right there. I mean, I pretty much echo what you guys have to say. I agree definitely with the nostalgia point. Like, when you brought up this movie, like my memory just got transported like back to just being a kid. So I was trying to put myself back into how I was viewing this when I was a kid, because I know I liked this movie when I was younger. Yeah.
And if you're listening, you probably did too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, just like I said, like the one thing that I can probably say about this one, like I said in the beginning, was, I mean, it's a kid's movie, I mean, we sit here and pretty much for this whole episode, we were just joking around, making fun of it, but a lot of kids' movies are bad. They're only good for kids, but there are a lot of other good movies that hold out and are good even when you are an adult.
This movie is not one of them. So I probably would not reach out to watch this movie again.
I mean, it's kind of hard to expect that out of a Disney Channel original movie to entertain an adult and a child.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that are though.
I always, every time I while watching this, I just thought from like a writer's perspective, like who is writing this? Who has this idea? And like, why are you? It's just like, are you just a kids writer? It makes me think of like a kids band. Like, you guys are writing and making music for kids band. That's so trash. Like, why did you pick that profession? I guess.
How do you end up in that career pool? Like,
I don't know. I mean, that's why I want to read the screenplay if I could ever find it, because just for that reason, like I want to see if the writing style is actually good. I mean, because some of these ideas are like decent, you know, but this is just something that's made for kids to consume. That's all it is.
Right, but the underlying sci-fi idea is very cool.
Yeah.
No matter what platform you're using to listen to us, I just want it to be known that we're available on iTunes, Spreaker, and YouTube. So if you like our content, please be sure to follow all of our channels so you can stay in the loop with new episodes. Also, feel free to give us a rating and leave us comments, or send us an email at screenplayjunkie.show@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. Also, if you have any recommendations of screenplays we should read, movies we should watch, or really anything, let us know on any of our platforms. We're always looking for other things to check out. On the next episode, we're going to do a movie that was requested, so thank you for interacting with us. If you have something you think we should review, comment on any of our channels, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, our Instagram page, YouTube, Spreaker, or send us an email. Now, unfortunately, we were unable to find an original screenplay for the film that was requested, so we'll be doing a movie review again for the second week in a row. And that movie is John Carpenter's 1986 action-adventure comedy, Big Trouble in Little China, that stars Kurt Russell. Thank you for listening. We hope you can join us next time.